Hey guys, I'm going to be doing another attempt on Odin and seeing if I can do a better score. I've talked to some friends, I've strategized a little bit. I think when it comes down to it, I'm going to need Kairi on this team to push me over the edge to damage cap. As funny as that sounds, I think Kairi, with her 25% holy buff for the entire party, will be enough to push me over the edge. This team is going to get pretty close. I'm going to estimate somewhere between 1.9 to 2 billion, but we're going to be a tiny bit short. When I get Kairi next week, I'm getting her guaranteed. I have the tokens for her. I'm just waiting to pick her in case I get her from a free pull in advance, but I will get her guaranteed before Dark Vision ends, including her EX1. She will come to the team. She's going to replace Lucius, and we're going to damage cap with her. Like it's almost a sure thing. But for now, this should be pretty close. Like I said, we're going to swap Lucius for Kairi instead. But for now, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing a Holy Element team. We're going to be doing Sora. The whole team is going to be immune to Earth and Wind from a buff. We're going to be using 50% Earth buff most turns and a 70% Wind buff. And for the final turn, we're going to do a 70% to both. So here is Sora in the base form. We've got bar stoneware equipped, so we can do 50% Earth. Shift form, he's going to be doing his LB and chaining. It's maxed out LB damage, maxed out human killer, and 4300 attack. Now, if I had an EX2 Sora, this would also be damage cap. That would push me over the edge from the higher stats on him. But I actually won't have an EX2 Sora before the event is over, unless I get him from a free pull. Zahn is going to be not tanking, actually. He's going to be geared for, believe it or not, DPS, but he's going to be hiding most turns. So because of that, we needed to give him enough resistance without the Imperil removed. So it's an 80% Imperil, so we're going to be doing 70% buffs for him. So he's going to be at 180 or better to Wind and Earth. Other than that, he's going to be chaining. Technically, he's got 125 human killer and 2500 attack. You can see I'm really going all in for every speck of damage. Sora base form, Riku base form is just geared for auto limit, whatever. You got 30 or better wind and 50 or better earth. Shift form, we're only shifting on the kill turn. Resist don't matter. He is geared for LB damage and human killer. He's going to be doing his LB to cap. 300 human, 275 LB damage. Elena, base form, is going to be the chainer. She's got a little bit of gear. She's not really wearing the best gear. She's only got 120 human killer. And the shift form is just got some resistances. We're going to be going to the shift form to steal her killer and then waiting it out. We're going to wait for it to come back to the base form. That's why it's going to be a turn 8 clear. Lucius is on Tetra for doing wind resist. And other than that, he's the passive provoke evasion death immune tank for the base form. He's going to stay in the base form all the way into the kill turn, so he can be the tank for that. On the kill turn, he will shift and just triple cast Bolting Strike. 4200 attack, and he's got 255 human killer. And then Tifa, base form, is going to be doing our Imperil removal with the Judgment Staff. She's going to be doing Lion Emblem for a little bit of LB fill. We gave her a second spell to cast. It doesn't matter what spell. We want her to dual cast the spell and something else. So she needed 2 spells. So we don't want to dual cast just Dispelga, because that will dispel the boss, and we don't want that. So we gave her a second spell, Dispelga, and dual cast, and some resistance. And then the shift form is the usual Tifa things, damage capping, 3,600 attack. We've got 290 LB damage and 275 human killer. And then Sora with there, and that's the team. Oh, and Zahn is on Titan for Earth Resist. He's going to give himself a 70% Earth Resist buff, and then for the final kill turn, he's going to spread that. So when we shift the turn before the kill turn, like with Sora, all he needs is 30 Earth Resist, but we're going to use a 50% for the beginning while he's in his base form. Okay, so I'm going to pause here in case I have to stop and, retry this fight. I don't want to have to do an intro again, but we'll see you in a moment for the fight. Alright, and if assuming this goes right the first time, I won't have to do any editing. So, settle in for a long clear. We're going to turn 8. So, first turn, Lucius, wind resist, earth resist, and better earth resist. Let's see, Riku can just fill his LB gauge with dual trigger. Elena can fill her LB gauge with Stella Marie. And Tifa can use Rallying Cry to start filling the LB gauge on Sora. If you don't have the lion emblem for Rallying Cry, you can just gear Sora in auto limit, which I did as well. You can also use Sora to fill his LB gauge with his LB filling skills. But for convenience, I just gave Tifa Rallying Cry. So we're in peril. Like I said, we want Zahn to keep that 70% Earth buff until later, so we're going to hide him for now. Get Zahn out of here. And then we're going to use Tifa to get rid of those imperils. We're going to cast a generic spell, and then a Dispelga. And we're going to redirect that to our team. Now we need to redo the resist buffs. We're going to shift Elena to start that cooldown. And then just guard her and guard Riku. And now we're just basically waiting 4 turns for Elena's cooldown, or Elena's shift form to wear off. Unfortunately, you cannot leave her shift form early, so we're stuck in her bad form for 4 turns. But we had to do this to steal the killer, which we're going to do right now. So turn 3, Elena will use her Magnus to put that killer up. Sora will do Flash Step to imbue himself with Light Element for us to steal. Alright, now Zahn's going to Reflector. We're going to steal the killers from Elena and the attack and magic buff. We're going to steal the imbue from Sora. And we're going to Elemental himself to refresh that Earth Resist buff that we did earlier. Turn 3, nothing else really has to happen. Yeah, it's really pretty much it. We'll just Rallying Cry. We can just Wind Resist again, guard Sora, or guard Riku. And there we go. Sora has used his base form's auto limit to fill his LB to max. So we're good on him. Alright, we're imperiled again, so because Zahn is holding all the killers, attack buffs, and the imbue, we don't want those to go away. But Zahn is fully loaded, ready for the kill turn with all the buffs needed. 300% attack and magic, 200% human killer, and imbue to light, and 70% earth and wind resist. But we're going to save those for later. So Zahn, please avoid this dispel. Go hide. Tifa, let's go ahead and get rid of those imperils. Please don't mess up this trick. There we go. Got it dispelled in our own team. And again, bar Aroga, bar Stonera, and then these two can just guard. I think. Turn 4... Yep, we just guard. Yeah, Sora has green magic access, so you can give him green magic, which is where he got the bar Stonera from. You can craft that if you don't have that yet. It's a craftable spell. Alright, turn 5. Turn 5, nothing is going on. So we're just going to have Zahn double up, critical himself, and elemental himself to refresh all of his buffs for later. And everyone else can just chill. Sora's ready to go. Yeah, we're going to refresh these. Doesn't matter. Guard you, and yeah, we're still waiting on Elena's shift form. But thankfully it wears off next turn. So next turn we can finally start doing something. And Zahn is still imperiled, but remember we gave him 180 wind and earth resist after a buff, so we don't need to remove his imperils. But we got imperiled again, so it's turn 6. So last time, Zahn, please hide. Tifa, last time you do the Dispelga trick, and hopefully I don't misclick, because this is a little bit tricky to do. If you don't click fast enough, it fails. But I think I got it right that time. Yep, we dispelled our own team. Resist buffs again. And now we're going to start getting ready. So it's turn 6. Turn 6, we are doing Limit with Elena to power up her mods, and Limit with Riku to break the boss. Let's wait for Elena to finish because it's super laggy, and I don't want to chain on the boss at all, so we're going to wait. Alright, Riku, do your LB to break the boss. 85% breaks, very nice. Okay. And now we can get ready for the last turn of setup. Turn 7 is going to be the final power-up turn. And then turn 8, we're gonna unleash. Alright, so Tifa is going to shift and do her Magnus. That's the 250% LB buff. Sora is going to shift Let's see. We're going to Radiant, Ultimate, and Stun. I think. Yes. Riku is going to Dark Maelstrom for the LB buff. We're going to refill his LB gauge, and we're going to do a 130 Dark Imperil. Because Riku's LB and Shift is unfortunately locked to Dark Element, so we're forced to use Dark. Elena is going to 130 Light Imperil, and then just boost her holy damage. And don't forget, Sora's shift form is not using enough resistance, neither is Tifa, but we've still got that 70% Earth Resist buff from Zahn from earlier, from turn 1. So now we're going to project all those buffs with Zahn that we've been storing for 7 turns. And there we go. So now we're back to 100% resistance. And we're going to kill next turn. Alright, we're going to go ahead and shift Lucius. We're going to shift Riku. And Elena is going to triple Gemini Blade. We're going to triple Shadow with Lucius. That will chain with Elena. We're going to LB with Sora, and then we're going to triple Absolute Mirror of Equity with Zahn. That will match up with Sora. We're going to have Riku cap with his LB. We're going to have Tifa cap with your LB. And here we go. So we're looking for a 114 point chain, and we're looking for 2.14 damage. We're probably not going to damage cap unless I get like the absolute perfect variance roll. We're gonna have to wait for Kairi. Here we go. Okay, looks like we got the 114 chain score, so we chained properly. Damage cap 2.049. I'm so close. Yep, that's expected. 2.049. Okay, so when I use my 10 summon coins and get myself a Kairi, she's going to replace Lucius. The entire party is going to get a 25% Holy Amplify to all their damage, and that will very easily push me over the edge. The reason I don't want to use my 10 summon coins on Kairi today is because we're getting, I think, 9 more days of free pulls. And if I get a second Kairi from a free pull before then, that'll be a real big waste. I'd rather get a second Sora with my coin if I happen to get a Kairi from a free pull. So on the very last day of Dark Visions and the Kingdom Hearts 3 event, if I haven't pulled a Kairi or a Sora from the free pulls, I will use my 10 tokens to get myself a Kairi on Wednesday of next week. And then I'll come back and I will finish off this Dark Visions at rank 1 with everyone else. So, I really don't like waiting a week and a half to do a fight, but that really is the smart play here. I've definitely got it in the bag. As you saw, I'm 2.04 with this team. Kairi's Amplify is going to hugely boost the whole team's damage. So we've got it. We just got to wait. So see you guys in 10 days where we will get a rank 1 Dark Visions. Later.